Welcome to True Crime Case Files, the podcast that delves into the darkest corners of human nature. In today's episode, we bring you another chilling tale of love, betrayal, and murder in June of 1982. Albert Rizzi, a respected and hardworking man, was at the center of this shocking crime. At the age of 49, Albert held the esteemed position of bank manager at a local financial institution. Known for his unwavering dedication to his job, he had earned the admiration and respect of both his colleagues and friends. Albert's integrity and reliability had made him a pillar of the community. However, beneath the facade of professional success, Albert struggled with insecurities in his personal life, particularly within his marriage to Diana Rizzi. Their relationship had been on shaky ground for months, with rumors circulating among their close-knit circle of friends. These rumors of infidelity whispered through the town, leaving a trail of broken trust in their wake. Despite the outward appearance of a happy marriage, whispers of tension and discontent filled the air. As we delve deeper into the life of Albert Rizzi, we uncover a man haunted by the demons of his own making. Friends recall his frequent visits to local bars, seeking solace in the bottom of a glass. The strain of his failing marriage and mounting work pressure weighed heavily on his shoulders, leaving him vulnerable and exposed. The summer of 1982 was a tumultuous time in Carmel, Indiana. The town was abuzz with excitement over the upcoming Carmel Fest, an annual event that brought the community together in celebration. Amidst the cheerful atmosphere, a dark cloud loomed over the Rizzi household, casting a shadow on their once idyllic life. The murder of Albert Rizzi would send shockwaves through the town, leaving everyone questioning who could have committed such a heinous act. The quiet town of Carmel, Indiana, known for its picturesque neighborhoods and tight-knit community, would now be thrust into the spotlight. The residents, once feeling safe and secure, were now gripped by fear and uncertainty. Join us as we unravel the twisted web of secrets and lies that led to the tragic demise of Albert Rizzi. Stay tuned. We will delve deeper into the investigation and the shocking revelations that emerged. The tranquility of Carmel, Indiana's suburban neighborhood was shattered on the sunny morning of June 2, 1982, when a shocking and horrifying discovery was made. It was a day that would forever be etched in the memories of those who lived there. As the morning sun cast its warm glow over the neatly manicured lawns and picturesque houses, a neighbor, whose name we shall withhold for privacy reasons, went about their daily routine. Little did they know that this seemingly ordinary day would soon take a chilling turn. As they made their way towards Albert Rizzi's residence, a sense of unease began to creep in. Something felt amiss. Their heart raced, and a knot formed in their stomach. Upon reaching the front door, they hesitated for a moment, sensing an inexplicable foreboding. Summoning their courage, they entered the house, their footsteps echoing through the silent hallway. The air was heavy with an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant hum of a radio playing a popular tune from that summer. The neighbors' eyes darted around, searching for any signs of life. And then, they saw it. In the dimly lit bedroom, bathed in the soft morning light filtering through the curtains, lay Albert Rizzi's lifeless body. The scene that unfolded before their eyes was straight out of a nightmare. The neighbors' heart pounded in their chest, their breath caught in their throat. Fear and panic washed over them like a tidal wave. They stumbled back, their minds struggling to comprehend the gruesome sight that lay before them. With trembling hands, they reached for their landline and dialed 911, their voice quivering as they informed the authorities of the horrifying discovery. Within minutes, the tranquil neighborhood was transformed into a hive of activity. Police cars, their sirens blaring, descended upon the scene. Yellow crime scene tape crisscrossed the area, marking it as a place of tragedy. Neighbors gathered in hushed clusters, their faces etched with shock and disbelief. The authorities swiftly responded to the distressing call from the quiet suburban neighborhood in Carmel, Indiana, on that sunny morning of June 2, 1982. Led by seasoned investigators, Detective Intrit and Officer Namazov, the police meticulously examined the crime scene where Albert Rizzi, a respected bank manager, had met his untimely demise. Upon entering the bedroom, the investigators were confronted with a haunting sight. The once pristine walls were now marred with splatters of blood, a chilling testament to the violence that had unfolded. The room itself seemed frozen in time, its atmosphere heavy with the weight of tragedy. Detective Intrit carefully surveyed the area, his experienced eyes honing in on every detail. He noted the position of the body, sprawled lifelessly on the floor, and the discarded gun nearby. The weapon, a .38 caliber revolver, had a distinct serial number etched onto its barrel. The detective made a mental note to cross-reference it with the local firearms database. Officer Namazov, armed with a camera, began meticulously documenting the scene. He captured close-up shots of the bloodstains on the walls, carefully noting their locations and patterns. Every angle was captured, ensuring that no crucial piece of evidence would be overlooked. The investigators knew the importance of thorough documentation in building a strong case. As the investigation progressed, the team discovered a few items of interest. A broken glass frame lay shattered on the floor, its remnants scattered around the room. Detective Intrit carefully collected the broken pieces, hoping to find fingerprints or other trace evidence. Nearby, a torn photograph caught Officer Namazov's attention. It depicted Albert and his wife Diana, smiling together at a local park. The torn edges suggested a possible struggle or argument. The investigators meticulously bagged and labeled each piece of evidence, ensuring a proper chain of custody. They knew that attention to detail was crucial, especially in a case that would undoubtedly attract media attention. The local newspapers, such as the Carmel Gazette, eagerly awaited updates on the investigation, and the police were determined to provide them with accurate information. The investigation had only just begun, and everyone knew that the road ahead would be filled with twists and turns. The investigation into the tragic murder of Albert Rizzi initially led to his wife, Diana Rizzi, as the prime suspect. Diana, a 43-year-old woman of elegance and sophistication, had long been dissatisfied with her marriage to Albert. Behind closed doors, she sought solace and excitement in the arms of her lover, Jason Mulholland. As police delved deeper into Diana's life, they discovered a web of deceit and betrayal. Her affair with Jason had been ongoing for months, unbeknownst to Albert. The clandestine meetings between Diana and Jason took place in various locations around Carmel, Indiana, adding an air of secrecy to their illicit relationship. During the course of the investigation, police uncovered a series of sexually explicit love letters exchanged between Diana and Jason. These letters, filled with graphic details of sex acts and promises of a future together, shed light on the depth of their affair. They also found evidence of expensive gifts exchanged between the two lovers, including a gold necklace from Tiffany & Company, a popular jewelry store in June of 1982. When confronted with the evidence, Diana initially denied any involvement in her husband's murder. However, under the relentless questioning of the police, she eventually broke down and confessed to her role in the affair. She admitted to hating Albert, driven by her desire to be free from the constraints of her marriage, but not to the murder. Diana's confession of hatred and forbidden love sent shockwaves through the community, as the once respected wife and mother was revealed to be a cold-blooded adulteress. The media frenzy surrounding the case intensified, with headlines in local newspapers such as Love Gone Wrong, The Carmel Murder Scandal, and Betrayal and Bloodshed, The Dark Side of Suburbia. Our second suspect in the murder of Albert Rizzi was Jason Mulholland, a 21-year-old student at Ball State University. Jason, a charismatic young man with a penchant for adventure, found himself entangled in a web of love, deceit, and greed. Born and raised in the confining and very Midwestern surroundings of Muncie, Indiana, Jason was no stranger to the allure of the big city. He yearned for a life beyond the confines of his small-town upbringing, dreaming of fast cars, designer clothes, and the glamorous lifestyle he believed he deserved. It was this desire for wealth and luxury that drew him to Diana Rizzi, Albert's wife. Diana, a sophisticated and elegant woman, seemed to embody everything Jason desired. Her refined taste and impeccable style captivated him, and he saw in her an opportunity to escape the ordinary. Their clandestine affair provided a thrilling escape from the monotony of Jason's college life, a taste of the high society he craved. But as the investigation unfolded, the police began to uncover a darker side to Jason's involvement. Financial gain appeared to be a motivating factor in the murder of Albert Rizzi. The authorities discovered a series of incriminating messages exchanged between Jason and Diana, discussing their plans to inherit Albert's substantial fortune. As the police subjected Jason to intense interrogation, his facade of innocence began to crumble. During the interrogation, Jason's demeanor shifted from confident to nervous. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead as he struggled to maintain his composure. His voice trembled as he attempted to explain his involvement, each word laced with desperation. "I never intended for things to go this far," Jason confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I was blinded by my own desires, and I let greed consume me. But I never wanted anyone to get hurt." The investigators pressed further, seeking to uncover the full extent of Jason's role in the murder. As they delved deeper into his background, they discovered a troubling pattern of reckless behavior and a disregard for the consequences of his actions. With mounting evidence against him, Jason's fate hung in the balance. As the investigation continued, the truth behind Albert Rizzi's murder slowly came to light. The police meticulously pieced together the puzzle, connecting the dots that would ultimately lead to justice. In the investigation into the murder of Albert Rizzi, the Carmel Police Department uncovered a significant breakthrough. On the morning of June 15, 1982, at approximately 9:30 a.m., Officer Roger Kraftwerk was conducting a routine search of the wooded area near the crime scene when he stumbled upon a discarded shoebox hidden beneath a dense thicket of bushes. The shoebox, weathered and worn, contained a trove of valuable evidence that could potentially shed light on the identity of the perpetrator. Inside, investigators found a series of handwritten letters, photographs, and a small, blood-stained diary. The contents of these items, meticulously preserved within the box, have opened up new avenues of inquiry for the dedicated detectives working tirelessly to solve this baffling case. The letters, addressed to an individual known only as A.R., appear to be written by someone deeply familiar with Albert Rizzi's personal life. The author's words, filled with a chilling mix of love and resentment, hint at a long-standing grudge and a desire for revenge. The photographs, capturing candid moments from Albert's life, provide a haunting glimpse into the past. Among them, a picture of Albert and his wife Diana, smiling together on their wedding day, now takes on a more sinister meaning. The blood-stained diary, belonging to Albert himself, contained cryptic entries that speak of a growing paranoia and fear. The final entry, dated just days before his untimely demise, mentions an encounter with an unknown individual who threatened to expose a dark secret from Albert's past. Could this revelation be connected to his murder? The third suspect in the murder of Albert Rizzi was Carolina Coco Keeling, a 65-year-old neighbor residing in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Carmel, Indiana. Coco, known for her friendly demeanor and nosy nature, prided herself on being well-informed about the happenings in the community. However, behind her seemingly pleasant facade, Coco concealed a secret addiction to cocaine and a deep-seated jealousy towards the seemingly perfect marriage of Diana and Albert. As the police delved deeper into the investigation, suspicions arose regarding Coco's potential involvement in the heinous crime. Her close proximity to the Rizzi residence and her knowledge of the neighborhood's inner workings made her a person of interest. The police sought to uncover any hidden motives or connections between Coco and the victim. During the intense interrogation, Coco's demeanor shifted from friendly neighbor to a woman on edge. Her eyes darted nervously as she answered the investigators' questions. She claimed to have no knowledge of the events leading to Albert's murder, expressing shock and disbelief at the news of his untimely demise. However, the investigators were not easily swayed. They probed deeper, presenting Coco with evidence that contradicted her initial claims of innocence. They discovered that Coco had been seen in the vicinity of the Rizzi residence on the morning of June 2nd, the day Albert's lifeless body was discovered. Witnesses reported seeing Coco acting suspiciously, her usually friendly demeanor replaced with an air of unease. Furthermore, the police uncovered a series of phone calls between Coco and Diana in the days leading up to the murder. The content of these calls raised eyebrows, as they involved discussions about Albert's financial affairs and the possibility of a life insurance policy. The investigators suspected that Coco, driven by her addiction and jealousy, may have been entangled in a sinister plot to eliminate Albert for personal gain. As the interrogation intensified, Coco's initial denials began to crumble. She broke down, confessing to her involvement in the murder. Coco revealed that she had been manipulated by someone in the Rizzi family who promised her a share of the life insurance payout in exchange for her assistance. Overwhelmed by her addiction and fueled by envy, Coco succumbed to the cunning plan. The investigators, armed with this newfound information, were one step closer to unraveling the truth behind Albert Rizzi's murder. Their relentless pursuit of justice had led them down a twisted path where the veneer of suburban tranquility had been shattered by greed, addiction, and betrayal. In a shocking turn of events, the true identity of Albert Rizzi's murderer was uncovered by the diligent work of the police. It was none other than his own wife, Diana Rizzi, who emerged as the accused killer. The motive behind this heinous act was driven by a desire for freedom, passion, and financial security, all provided by Albert's life insurance policy. However, the truth took an even more sinister twist when it was revealed that Diana's own 16-year-old daughter, Skye Rizzi, was labeled as the actual mastermind behind the murder. Motivated by deep-seated feelings of neglect and resentment, Skye orchestrated her father's demise by psychologically manipulating her mother and her mother's lover, Jason Mulholland, a 21-year-old student at Ball State. Throughout the investigation, the police meticulously collected evidence, leaving no stone unturned in their pursuit of justice. They discovered a trail of incriminating phone calls exchanged between Skye, Diana, and Jason, detailing their sinister intentions. Additionally, surveillance footage from a nearby convenience store captured the pair purchasing the murder weapon, a gun, just days before the crime took place. The police investigation uncovered a web of deceit and betrayal that had been carefully woven by this trio. Diana's and Jason's arrest left the community in a state of disbelief, as they struggled to comprehend how a seemingly devoted wife and mother could be capable of such a heinous act. The shockwaves reverberated through the quiet suburban neighborhood of Carmel, Indiana, where the Rizzi family had once resided. In the aftermath of this shocking revelation, the community of Carmel, Indiana, was left to heal and rebuild. The wounds inflicted by this tragic event would take time to mend, as the echoes of this true crime case would forever resonate within the hearts and minds of those who were touched by it. In the summer of 1982, the small town of Carmel, Indiana became the epicenter of a gripping murder trial that captivated the state of Indiana. The courtroom, adorned with its polished oak panels and imposing judge's bench, was transformed into a stage where justice would ultimately prevail. The prosecution, led by the tenacious district attorney, Eric Swift, presented a compelling case against Diana Rizzi, the accused murderer. With meticulous attention to detail, Eric Swift meticulously pieced together the evidence, revealing the depth of Diana's betrayal. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as he painted a vivid picture of her motive, a desire for freedom, passion, and financial security provided by her husband Albert's life insurance policy. The defense, represented by the seasoned attorney, Elizabeth Holmes Narwhal, fought tooth and nail to establish doubt in the minds of the jury. Holmes Narwhal skillfully questioned the credibility of the prosecution's witnesses, highlighting inconsistencies in their testimonies. She argued that the evidence was circumstantial at best, and that Diana was being unfairly scapegoated for a crime she did not commit. As the trial progressed, the tension in the courtroom was palpable. Witnesses took the stand, recounting their interactions with Diana, Skye, and Jason. The jury listened intently, their eyes fixed on the unfolding drama. The media, hungry for sensational stories, filled the courtroom benches, their pens scribbling furiously as they captured every twist and turn. After days of riveting testimony, the jury retired to deliberate. The nation held its breath as they weighed the evidence and deliberated on Diana's fate. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the jury returned with their verdict. Diana Rizzi was found guilty of first-degree murder. The courtroom erupted in gasps and whispers as the reality of the verdict sank in. Diana's face remained stoic, betraying no emotion. The judge, his voice filled with authority, pronounced the sentence: life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. As the media frenzy subsided and the town slowly returned to its normal rhythm, Riverton was left to pick up the pieces. The impact of the trial reverberated through the community, forever altering the lives of those involved. Following the conclusion of the highly publicized trial, the lives of those involved were forever changed. Carolina Coco Keeling, the nosy neighbor who had harbored deep-seated jealousy towards the Rizzi family, found herself ostracized by the community. The revelation of her secret addiction to cocaine only intensified the disdain towards her. The local newspaper, the Indianapolis Gazette, ran a scathing exposé on Coco's double life, further tarnishing her already damaged reputation. She retreated from public view, seeking solace in the anonymity of her small apartment. Sky Rizzi, the 15-year-old daughter of the victim and the accused mastermind, faced a long and arduous road to redemption. Plagued by feelings of neglect and resentment, her involvement in her father's murder shocked the community to its core. The media frenzy surrounding the trial painted Sky as a troubled and misguided teenager. The local television station, Wish TV, aired a special report on the impact of the trial on Sky's life, delving into her troubled life and the psychological factors that led to her involvement in the crime. There were even rumors she would be played by Drew Barrymore in a made-for-TV movie. Sky was placed in a juvenile detention center where she underwent intensive therapy and counseling in an attempt to rehabilitate her. Jason Mulholland, the young lover of Diana Rizzi, faced a bleak future. His dreams of a luxurious lifestyle were shattered as he found himself behind bars. The local radio station, WFBQ-FM, covered Jason's sentencing, highlighting the role he played in the heinous crime. With his youthful charm now overshadowed by his criminal actions, Jason struggled to come to terms with the consequences of his choices. The loss of Albert Rizzi, a beloved member of the community, left a void that could never be filled. The local church, St. John's Episcopal Church, held a memorial service to honor Albert's memory, providing solace to his grieving family and friends. The community rallied around the Rizzi family, offering support and condolences during their time of need. As the months passed, the small town of Carmel, Indiana returned to its usual rhythm, but the scars of the tragedy remained. The impact of the events that unfolded in June of 1982 continued to reverberate through the lives of those involved, forever altering their paths. And so, the story of Albert Rizzi's murder comes to an end. In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Carmel, Indiana, the dark underbelly of seemingly idyllic lives was exposed. Love, betrayal, and a shocking twist left an indelible mark on all those involved. Join us next time on True Crime Case Files as we delve into another chilling tale from the annals of true crime history. Hey, true crime case solvers, interested in more real-life murder mysteries? Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And do you have any thoughts about this case or have a case of your own you'd like us to investigate? Leave us a comment. Until then, stay safe, true crime case solvers.